back to the Rings of Power again. This is part 3 of the review, and because that stupid Galadriel torture and genocide scene, I'm just starting the content of the episode, and this episode is thick, much like the people who wrote it. I covered the Galadriel fascism stuff in parts 1 and 2, if you want to check that out, links below. So, we start off, and the orcs are getting ready to attack the humans in the watchtower. So, the orcs all light their torches up and... oh no! I get a very bad feeling that the showrunners on this were trying to evoke Charlottesville. Oh god, they've done it again. I can't. I can't. I'd maybe give them the benefit of the doubt, but after they made all the orcs white and did their "they took our jobs" bit in Numenor, I'm not sure I should give it to them. Should I go into that? Let me know below. The subtext in this show is diabolical. I mean, this stuff has no place in Tolkien whatsoever, but I just can't do it now. I need to get through this. House the Dragon is up soon, and I'm getting way behind. All this subtext Rings of Power. I've not seen such obvious subtext since the song Honey by Mariah Carey. So the orcs get to the tower, and it looks deserted. Then Arondir pops up and starts shooting orcs with arrows. Then shoots a fire arrow up at the tower, causing a rope to break, and after Arondir blocks the door with a cunning trap, the tower comes down on the orcs. From below in the valley, the people cheer. So how was that one thin rope holding a tower up? How did they set any of this up in time? How did the people get out of the tower without being noticed? I can't tell you, it all happened off camera. Why would fire cause a rope to break instantly, like it's Legend of Zelda? Fire doesn't work that way. How can Arondir move a heavy stone block by kicking it like it's made of styrofoam? Also, the CGI as Arondir jumps down from the wall is terrible. It looks like he has no weight as he floats down like Super Mario wearing a tanuki suit. Also not sure why Lord of the Rings has turned into Home Alone. So the humans go back to the village and ready up for another orc attack. We cut to the Numenorean fleet, and the ships are ludicrously small. But this is a good shot, very picturesque, with the moon and the water. If you look closely, you can also see sailors on deck, and that allows me to do this. Taking the height of this sailor to be approximately 6 foot, I can turn that around 90 degrees and use that as a yardstick. So that's 17 sailor heights for the entire length of the ship. Taking that sailor to be 6 foot tall, that makes this ship approximately 102 feet long, and each ship carries 100 soldiers for the approximately 3,500 kilometre journey. Now, the Mayflower was 106 foot long, a Dutch flute, and this ship appears to be on 2 decks. The Mayflower was on 4. The Mayflower carried 102 passengers, so they're somehow carrying the same number of people as the Mayflower did in a ship that's half the size, and that's before we even get on to them carrying horses. Isildur goes to see the horses, and there are 10 horses on one ship. I don't know how they managed to fit them in. Maybe they had to remove the hold full of napalm and daisy cutters that caused their ship to explode like that last episode. I'm also taking on faith Rings of Power that when they get off of these ships and they start riding the horses, they're not suddenly going to have a huge number of horses. I'm warning you now, if they get off those ships and they have a huge number of horses, I'm going to go apeshit. Galadriel meets Isildur on deck and they have a tedious conversation. She explains the importance of humility, and this doesn't hit home so well coming from one of the most arrogant characters I've ever seen. Meanwhile, we cut back to the village, and Plank is trying to destroy the Keyblade with a hammer as the villagers prepare defences. This all seems wildly silly. I still stand by the idea that they should have run instead of fighting an orc army of unknown size. Arondir could have taken the Keyblade to Gil-galad and it would have been safe. If they lose it, they don't know the consequences, but they know the orcs want it a lot. No? You're going to fight the orc army with untrained and unarmed villagers, yeah? Okay then. Arondir and Bronwyn talk, and they don't have good chemistry at all. Nor have they sold this romance. We're 6 episodes deep, and they've barely talked. But ignore that, They're in love now, the soaring music says so. Night comes, and the Charlottesville orcs come with it. The humans have more traps. This time they have carts filled with oil to roll at the orcs. But much like a tepid relationship with Plank, Bronwyn just can't get it lit. Luckily an orc comes over with a torch to help her. She kills the orc and lights the cart, and that may be the best part of the episode. That kind of worked. The carts trap the orcs in, and archers open fire. It's not bad tactics from the humans. Arondir gets into a fistfight with a massive orc, and it's terrible. More bad CGI as Arondir flies around, and as he's about to die, Bronwyn saves him by killing the orc, and the battle is won. As the humans look at the dead, many were not orcs, but instead were the villagers who went and joined Adar. As the villagers investigate, more orcs open fire with arrows, killing many villagers with shots from so far away that no orc is even visible. So, why? Why did the orcs sacrifice so many of their people in the first wave, when they could have just done that in the first place? This show is just style over substance every single time. The humans are driven back by the orcs' second wave and end up in the tavern surrounded. It appears all hope is lost. The orcs are breaking down the door with a battering ram. We then jump to the Numenorian cavalry, and what? Where did you get those horses? You got all of those horses on those tiny ass ships. Is this a joke? There are hundreds of horses there. And why are you riding so fast? You don't know a battle's going on. I'm going to have to save this for a part 4. What have they done?